Assalamu alaikum. This is Joan Clark. I'm reading the Quran to Sura 65. This is on divorce, and the term is Talaq. The message is mostly the rules that pertain to it. I'm going to start with a prayer I found online. It was written by Muhammad Amin. Lord, or Allah, you are most merciful and generous. Give us patience to continue to learn from one another and work towards a more peaceful and kind world. I'm going to just read verbatim the notes that I took on this section. In verse 2, it says that you're to call two reliable witnesses about the marriage and what has happened. True testimony for the sake of God. Whoever has faith in God and the last day, and whoever is mindful of him, he will make a way out. God set a destiny for everything. In verse 4, it says that there's a 3-month waiting period. And if the person happens to be pregnant, the delivery date determines that. If mindful of God, he makes matters easy. He absolves sin and rewards them immensely. In verse 6, it says that the spouse can live, they can cohabitate during the waiting period, and it says, let them. In verse 1, it says, do not force them out, nor should they leave, only if there is blatant misconduct. In verse 6, it says, do not harass them. It also says, if they nurse a child, you compensate them and consult together with them courteously. In verse 7, it says that their spouses provide for them according to what means they have. It also says that after hardship, God gives ease. I did want to mention that I'm dealing with this. I was married for about 11 months from October of last year. Well, that's when I met my husband. We got married in December. And so the marriage was 3 months less that, so 8 months in total. That my husband's name was Olander Krabs. I didn't mention it in a tape before. On August 10th, I went through domestic violence and I was held hostage. So I went directly, when I was able to a police department, and they took 11 photos. On September 18th, they verified that I am a victim of domestic violence, and they upheld my injunction papers I filed for a year, which means that my ex-husband now, he can't contact me. It's a no contact order. He can't get within 500 feet of me, and that's upheld in all counties, all of Florida, for a year. On September 14th, I did say Shahada over the phone. I had called to make an appointment to do it in person, but it just didn't happen that way, so I did it the other way. I am pledged, still need help, and I'm oppressed. Also, Egypt, the pledge there, he called me in May, and because I hadn't heard from him prior, I met Alander in October. I told him I was pledged. He said if my pledge didn't show up, he would marry me in December. So I contacted Egypt, didn't hear back. I married him on December 7th. And then we just went through fights. He had some flirtatious behavior, and he was criticizing me. I tried to make it work, but we did separate in May when the pledge from Egypt called, and so we weren't cohabitating. I attempted to reconnect to my husband, and it just didn't turn out. So now I'm Muslim. I was a Baha'i and he was a Christian. So that ended, and now I'm free to remarry. I guess that would be in November then.